Love handles are some of the most stubborn fat deposits on our body, and no matter how much fat we lose, for most of us, the love handles are the last to go. But here's the good news. With the right strategy, you can get rid of them fast and permanently. And that's exactly what I want to share with you in this video. A few science-based steps to lose the love handles no matter your age. But first, let's quickly dispel one of the biggest myths about getting rid of love handles. This idea that we can spot reduce fat or target a specific area with certain exercises is just not true. For instance, one study found that performing abdominal exercises alone for 6 weeks did not lead to a reduction in belly fat. Similarly, another study done over 12 weeks concluded that resistance training focused on the abdominal area did not significantly impact belly fat loss. These findings highlight that spot reduction is ineffective. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump into the simple steps to losing those love handles fast. Step number 1, stay in a caloric deficit. Understand first that body fat distribution is determined by your unique genetics. Research shows that factors like sex, race, ethnicity, age, and biological differences all factor into where you store fat and where it burns off last. While you might be seeing progress elsewhere, this explains why the fat around your waist is seemingly the last to go. So if you've been cutting body fat, yet the love handles won't budge, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. If you can be patient and remain in that caloric deficit, your body will have no choice but to utilize the fat stored in those trouble areas. Now, if you haven't been losing weight, yet you want to burn and lose those love handles, you're going to have to maintain a caloric deficit where you're burning more calories than you're consuming. The way to achieve this is simple. First, you'll aim for a deficit of 300 to 500 calories. For example, if you require 2,000 calories to maintain your weight, you'd want to eat around 1,500 to 1,700 calories per day to lose fat. To figure out what your maintenance calories are, multiply your current body weight by 14. So if you weigh 180 pounds, your maintenance would be around 2,520 calories. From there, you'll need to track your meals. While it may seem tedious, research shows that tracking just 60% of the time can lead to meaningful weight loss. And since food consumption accounts for 100% of energy intake, while physical activity only accounts for 15 to 30% of energy expenditure, tracking what you eat is the most effective way to manage your deficit. Once you've determined your target calories, consume that number daily for 2 weeks. During this time, weigh yourself every morning on an empty stomach and calculate your average weight at the end of weeks 1 and 2. If your week 2 average is lower than your week 1, congratulations, you're in a calorie deficit. If it's higher, you're in a surplus, and if it stays the same, you're at maintenance. In either case, this weekly average will give you all the information you need to determine if you should decrease your calories or keep them the same. The key is to monitor your progress regularly and make small adjustments as needed to stay on track. By sticking to this process, you'll be able to burn those love handles without starving yourself or sacrificing your hard-earned muscle. Step number 2, fight against metabolic adaptations. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body adapts by lowering its total energy expenditure, a survival mechanism known as metabolic adaptation. This adaptation reduces energy output by decreasing your NEAT or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Think less fidgeting, opting for the elevator over the stairs, or driving instead of walking short distances. Essentially, your body tries to conserve energy, making fat loss harder. So if you're no longer losing weight despite hitting your target calories, it's likely due to this metabolic adaptation. Fortunately, the solution is quite simple: move more. This can be achieved by setting a daily step count of 6,000 to 8,000 steps. Another option would be to make a conscious effort to be more physically active. You can park further away from the store, stand while working or during phone calls, or take the steps instead of the elevator. These small actions might not feel like much, but they add up. Additionally, increasing your NEAT goes beyond burning more calories. Higher activity levels lead to increased metabolic flexibility, enabling your body to switch efficiently between carb and fat utilization. This adaptability ensures your fat-burning mechanisms remain effective even in a calorie deficit. Not only that, but regular physical activity also enhances insulin sensitivity. This prevents excessive fat storage around the waist, as insulin resistance is often strongly linked to increased abdominal fat. This also makes the whole process, regardless of fat loss or not, beneficial to your health in general. Step number 3. Follow a high-protein diet. In one study, participants who ate a high-protein diet felt more full and experienced less hunger than those who ate a high-fat diet. And multiple studies corroborate these findings. Foods like steak, chicken, salmon, and whole eggs aren't just packed with protein, they're satiating enough to crush hunger. When you're not constantly thinking about your next meal, it's far easier to stick to your diet. Not only that, but according to this 2016 study, adults who followed higher protein diets retained more lean mass and lost more fat mass compared to those who consumed less protein. In this study, individuals aiming for weight loss also saw significantly better muscle retention when increasing protein intake. And if that wasn't enough, this systematic review found that protein intakes of 1 to 1.4 grams per pound of lean body mass were the most effective in protecting against muscle loss during a caloric deficit. This intake range appears to better preserve lean tissue even during fat loss phases. High protein tells your body to prioritize burning stored carbs and fats for energy instead of breaking down muscle for fuel. Keeping your protein intake high is essential not only for aesthetics, but also because muscle is metabolically active. This means that the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn even at rest. Protein also has a high thermic effect, meaning your body burns more calories digesting and metabolizing it compared to carbs and fats. This is why research has found that consuming high amounts of protein decreased abdominal fat and increased lean body mass compared to lower protein. Step number 4. Make sleep a priority. Studies consistently show that short sleep duration is associated with increased energy intake, primarily from high-calorie, nutrient-poor foods like fast food, sugary snacks, and saturated fats. This leads to higher meal and snack frequencies, more late-night eating, and a reduced intake of fruits and vegetables. More so, studies have also found that poor sleep quality is associated with increased visceral adipose tissue, as poor sleep also disrupts hormones like leptin and ghrelin, which control hunger and fullness. According to this 2015 paper, sleep deprivation can lead to fatigue and sleepiness throughout the day, which can reduce physical activity. Another 2010 study compared a group who slept for 8.5 hours per night and another group who slept for just 5.5 hours. While both groups lost the same amount of weight, the sleep-deprived group lost 55% less fat and 60% more muscle. In short, not getting enough rest can interfere with your weight loss efforts by affecting how your body uses energy. Thus, I recommend aiming for 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep each night. Although it may seem unrelated to the goal at hand, poor sleep could have the biggest impact on whether or not you're able to rid those love handles. And if you're looking for a done-for-you program that tells you exactly how much to eat, what to eat, and what exercises to perform, grab a copy of my book, Shredded 12 Fat Loss. This is the only science-based fat loss program of its kind that protects your hard-earned muscle mass and strength and gives you a shredded physique no matter your age. And right now, you can get an additional 25% off by using the coupon code RIP25. If you want to learn more, click the link in the description below. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.